In another place, the TV is broadcasting a news segment featuring a long-haired blonde man making a speech. Liang Ru-yu and her mother are watching the news on the screen. Suddenly, Ru-yu points at the screen and excitedly says, "Mom, isn't this result better than you expected?" Her mother, sitting beside her, calmly replies, "Lin Key's strategy has tackled the issue at its core, directly defeating Zhao Mo. This short-selling game will end with Zhao Mo's failure." Unexpectedly, Ru Yu brings a stack of papers in front of her mother, her eyes wide and sparkling as she looks at her. Her mother glances at the paper Ru Yu is holding, with a skeptical expression says, "Contract documents. I can't see them clearly," lying Ru Yu. Ru Yu holds the stack of papers in her hand, smiling as she tells her mother, "This is a contract for 6 major pharmaceutical companies to collaborate with Lin Key to establish a world-class research and development center." Her mother sighs. No wonder Hun Shui Company acted this way at such a crucial moment. "Had you told Uncle Chen about this?" After her mother finishes speaking, Ru Yu closes her eyes tightly, happily recounting. "I told Uncle Chen about it during work earlier. He smiled broadly. He even said we should reward Lin Key well." Ru Yu's mother is startled, suddenly realizing something. She stands up abruptly, her expression panicked as she exclaims, "This is not good. Something has happened. If this blows up, even I can't save him." Her actions made Ru Yu anxious and frightened. She stammered, "Mom, what is happening?" She immediately picked up the phone, her face serious, turning to her. "You need to call Uncle Chen right away. We must calm this matter down at all costs. Give me Lin Key's phone number." Ru Yu stared blankly, a confused look on her face. She stood up, holding the phone, calling Lin Key. The phone rang incessantly, but no one answered, making her irritated, frowning and cursing silently. This kid, what on earth is he doing? Elsewhere, Lin Key's phone was on airplane mode, so he was completely unaware of what was happening. Currently, he was standing with others in the room, the phone placed in a corner quite far away. Kinhan smiled, a triumphant look on his face as he looked at the computer and said to Lin Key, "Lin, take a look at the current price. Even if they have the ability to buy back all the shares, the interest they have to pay to the brokerage firm is still a large amount of money. They are definitely going to lose." Lin Key stood there, also smiling contentedly, his expression bright, adjusting his collar neatly, then calmly replied, "Basically completed. A loss is certain, but we still have to see how much the loss is." Kinhan rested his hands behind his head, leaning back in the chair, facing him, and said, "But I feel that this alone is not enough. We need the stock to rise to make it interesting." At this moment, Lin Key rested his chin on his hand as if he was deep in thought. His face fell, and his eyes were slightly melancholic. "I think so too. I'll start implementing it right now." Yuan suddenly spoke up from behind. "Boss, what is your plan?" Startled by the sudden question, Lin Key turned around. He began assigning tasks to her in a serious tone. "You go tell the PR department to announce that we are preparing to cooperate with Shanghai Racing School on a sports car project. Then announce our partnership with Wangjiang Dock for marine tourism services and cooperate with Bandao Hotel for catering services. Make full use of whatever resources we have." Yuan blinked and gave a thumbs up to praise her boss. "You are truly a genius. How could you even think of this?" Lin Key felt proud at the compliment. Kinhan also smiled and said, "Then I will announce that we are investing in your company's technology platform. We will have all 3 advantages: road, sea, and air. We will announce it first to stimulate a more vibrant market." Lin Key turned around and waved goodbye to the two of them. "I still have to go to the hospital. The rest is up to you." Cutting to a scene in a large hospital, a cheerful woman stepped out to greet him. "Director Lin, you have arrived?" Lin Key decisively sat down in the chair and gently asked, "Sister Chen, are you busy? I'm here to resign. Is it a good time?" The person referred to as Sister Chen was a bit surprised, her mind filled with questions, doubts, and shock. "What, resign?" Seeing this, Lin Key looked at her and explained, "I'm preparing to switch to a different job. It's too exhausting at the hospital." Sister Chen understood his intention and said, "It's fine to resign. I will provide you with the procedures and documents." After receiving the resignation documents, he held them in his hands, his expression very satisfied. Finally, Lin Key signed his name on the paper. Lin Key, in his white coat with his hands in his pockets, was walking towards a certain patient room. Just then, a nurse walked out of a room. Seeing her, Lin Key struck up a conversation. "Director Lai, where has she gone?" The nurse gently replied, "She seems to be in room 812. In a room with a blue door, Lin Key entered. Before him were 2 doctors, 2 family members, and a little patient lying on the bed. Chao Xin's eyes lit up when she saw him enter, and she smiled brightly, saying, "Brother Lin, you're here." The first thing Lin Key did upon arriving was to check the condition of the child on the bed. He placed his hand on the boy's forehead to check his temperature and asked, How is the child doing? Xiao Xin maintained her cheerful smile and replied happily. Very well, all the indicators have returned to normal. Hearing that, Lin Key felt relieved. Then that's good. Just as he was about to turn away, the child's parents joyfully said in a voice filled with admiration and unexplainable gratitude, Director Lin, thank you. If it weren't for you performing the surgery, this child would not have been saved. Seeing their sincerity, Lin Key turned back and smiled gently. This is what we should do. I'm relieved that the child is okay. Suddenly, a man's voice called out loudly from outside the door, Director Lin. It was Miao of Gofeng. His face darkened as he dashed in, looking worried and asking, Are you still okay? Why did you resign? Is there something you're not happy about? Hearing the words resign, everyone in the room was taken aback, eyes wide open in shock. But Lin Key still had a smile on his face and waved his hand gently to explain. I have other things to take care of, so I am temporarily putting my work at the hospital on hold. Xiao Xin, at some point, had tears welling up in her eyes. While wiping her tears, she trembled and said, Brother Lin, how can you just leave like that? It's too sudden. In response to her plea, Lin Key's face was full of helplessness. He feigned reproach and said, Calm down a little. It's as if I'm suffering from a terminal illness. Biao Guofeng, feeling saddened and somewhat selfish, insisted, Director Lin, I will not sign your resignation letter. Then he began to give a bunch of reasons to keep him, such as giving him a long leave, letting him decide when to come back, and keeping his position with the same salary. Hearing this, it seemed that Lin Key's spirit was a bit shaken. He pondered for a moment, but in the end, feeling helpless, he reached back to scratch his head and accepted. Then just give me a long leave, and as for the salary, never mind. I don't really need that money. Knowing that Lin Key wasn't resigning, Miao Guofeng happily laughed loudly. All right, then, let's do it your way. As Miao Guofeng was about to turn and leave, suddenly the parents of the child on the bed bent down to say, Director Lin, thank you. We never expected your last surgery would be for our child. We don't know how to express our gratitude. Seeing this, Lin Key quickly helped them up and replied, all right, don't be so sentimental. I'll be heading out now. On the other side, Xiao Xin, with her tear-streaked face, was wiping her tears while sadly saying, Brother Lin, I will miss you a lot. Director Lai will miss you a lot too. She left Lin Key stunned. Everyone in the room looked at him with regretful eyes. Lai Xuhan's gaze was somewhat hesitant. She frowned as if she wanted to say something, but didn't dare to speak up. Suddenly, the door to the room opened and Liu Jinyu came in to announce, Director Miao, just now an anonymous donor contributed $3 million for a patient in Liu Zihao and left a message wishing the child a speedy recovery. Hearing this, Miao Guofeng and Lai Xuhan both widened their eyes, frowning in astonishment. Someone donated $3 million. The two women, one blonde and one brunette, lit up with bright eyes looking at each other and saying, Can you believe someone donated so much money? Lin Key raised his hand to his nose and gently scratched it, smiling proudly. That money comes at just the right time. The surgery is completed. In a few days, we will enter the treatment phase. The two women switched from joy to embracing each other and crying in happiness, thanking heaven and Buddha. Mr. Liu, there are still many good people in this world. If it weren't for them, our child wouldn't make it. Lin Key smiled slightly at everyone. All right, everyone is busy. I should take my leave now. With that, Lin Key smiled and quietly stepped out. Like Suhan saw this, her lips curling up in happiness, a mix of pride and admiration, thinking, donating so much money, there's no one else but Lin Key. Having completed a meaningful experience in his profession, Lin Key walked out of the hospital. He turned back with a satisfied look. Suddenly, a female voice called out from behind, Lin Key. Startled, he turned around and asked, Why are you here? That is Liang Ru Yu, a beautiful girl with long hair holding a long golden box in her hands. She said, I know you took a day off work today, so I came to see how it is. Lin Key smiled and replied, It's just taking a day off work. There's nothing worth seeing. Liang Ru Yu replied, a bit flustered, Because you are different from others. Thank you for doing such meaningful things for the people. I will always remember it in my heart. She shyly touched her hair, then slowly opened the box. Inside was a strip of red background gold couplets with the words, Forget the noble prince draped in 3 layers of snow, who in this world truly matches the white rose. She then folded it back and handed it to Lin Key. It's for you. He took it and stared at it. Suddenly, the system chimed, Congratulations, Master, for completing the mission. Rewards, 300,000 proficiency points and E-rank combat power. Lin Key looked up in surprise. The Lingwise system fell from the green space filled with technical data into Lin Key's hands. He gently caught Ling Wai and wondered, What is E-rank combat power? The system explained, The combat power levels in Land Sing are divided into 5 ranks, A, B, C, D, and E. The reward master just received is E rank, which is also the lowest among them. If converted into value, Master's current power is 100 times greater than before. Lin Key, hearing that, joyfully thought he was now unmatched. The system smiled cunningly and said, even if there are special elite masters competing in the future, they won't be your opponents. Then she continued, although Lansing is very small, it is more complex than what the master thinks. Please continue to strive for advancement. Lin Key felt as if the system was dismissing Lansing, and he wondered, System, are you from Nebula M78 or the planet Supertron? The system looked at him mysteriously and said, wait until you are strong enough, and you will know. Then she disappeared, leaving Lin Key standing alone in doubt. Suddenly, Ru Yu ran over and said, Brother Lin, quickly call my mom. She has been trying to reach you for days, but couldn't. Lin Key immediately took out his phone and called Shu Yi. Why are you looking for me? Shu Yi said seriously, you should end this immediately. This lesson has been significant enough for Zalmo and the others. Going too far will lead to a breaking point. Lin Key was very surprised to hear that. He asked, are you worried about the Huiyin group or the four core families? Shu Yi replied, if it's about the Huiyin group, then it's not a big issue. I'm worried because the business world is full of risks and you cannot cross the red line. Otherwise, it will become a stepping stone for others. Lin Key was silent for a moment, then replied irritably, I know. In Yanjing, the office of Zhang Xin Group, Wang Lai hurriedly burst in to report to Shu Yi. Boss Lady Shen, this is not good. Shu Yi was sitting and working. Seeing Wang Lai rush in, she wondered, what's the rush about? Wang Lai immediately handed her the iPad to show her. The article was about the group of the four most powerful young masters in Yanjing losing the race to newcomers in the field of technology. Shu Yi had just read the first few lines when she panicked. She stood up and asked Wang Lai, did you write this article? Wang Lai replied, the author used a pseudonym and submitted the article from an IP address overseas. Shu Yi inferred, someone wants to crush the Lang Yun Corporation Zhonghai. She remembered that the International Center had also been targeted in this way before. Although the methods had changed, the tactics remained the same. Zhang Yimou's gaze was still as sharp as ever. Wang Li anxiously asked, what should we do now? Shu Yi calmly responded, contact the editor-in-chief of the financial and economic newspaper to block the article. At the same time, inform the PR department to use the name of Zhang Xin Group to clearly explain the whole situation from beginning to end, especially to keep Zhao Mo's group hidden. Zhang Yimou will surely understand my point. Wang Li obeyed the command and immediately left. At Zhao Mo's office, the anxious secretary reported, a post just appeared online claiming that this short-selling incident is orchestrated by our company. The secretary, sweating in fear, stammered, our stocks have been affected as well. Zhao Mo slammed his hands on the table and shouted, who did this? The worried secretary replied, we couldn't trace it back, but that post has been deleted. The important thing is that Zhang Xin Group has published a related report outlining the entire situation. Sun Si immediately realized that Shu Yi had stepped in to help. He thought, she is afraid this situation will have negative repercussions, so she dealt with it to calm things down. Zhao Mo breathed a sigh of relief, believing there was nothing to worry about now. However, one of Zhao Mo's friends suddenly said, Lin Key's stock continues to rise. We cannot buy enough of those shares in a short time to pay back the brokerage. Just as Zhao Mo felt relieved, he fell back into worry because of his friend's words. While he was sitting there thinking about how to boost his company's stock again, Wang Dongting's secretary knocked on the door, inviting Zhao Mo to her office to discuss a few matters. Zhao Mo stood up, intending to follow the secretary, but then stopped, turned to Sun Se's group and said, everyone, wait for me here. In Wang Dongting's office, she asked, Zhao Mo, have you learned anything from this failure? Zhao Mo refused to admit that the failure was his fault, instead blaming Hun Shui Company. They set me up, which is why this happened. Dongting was angry. Don't you think about what capabilities Lin Key has that could make Hun Shui change their decision like that? Upon hearing this, Zhao Mo suddenly realized something. Dongting continued to question. If you were in Lin Key's position, do you think you would have the capability to do that? Zhao Mo panicked, stammering and unable to utter a single word. Wang Dongting stood up and said seriously, I just found out that Lin Key has collaborated with 7 major pharmaceutical companies to establish a world-class research and development center in Zhonghai. The drugs produced there are sold for no more than 50% of their production cost. Zhao Mo was shocked to learn that the company he sold drugs through earned so little money. Dongting continued to add shocking news. Lin Key still has a trump card that hasn't been played yet, which is Shen Tianzhou, the head of that scientific research department. Zhao Mo was stunned, pacing back and forth and asking, "What should I do now?" Wang Dongting took out a check and handed it to Zhao Mo. "Take this to return the shares to the brokerage firm. There are many people waiting to replace the Zhao family, so you need to act quickly to prevent things from turning into a butterfly effect." Zhao Mo trembled with anger, but could do nothing but obey Dongting's words. Seeing Zhao Mo in such pain, she felt reluctant, but she knew that there was no better option than this. As soon as Zhao Mo left, Dongting's secretary entered to report, "Boss Lady Wang, we've investigated the situation in Baiqiao town thoroughly. The main contractor is the Zhao Yang Group from Shanghai, and the CEO of Zhao Yang Group is Lin Key's girlfriend. However, the main sponsor for the public welfare project in Baiqiao town is the Zhong Xin Group." Dongting was surprised to hear that Zhong Xin Group was the main sponsor. She wondered, how does Shen Shu Yi have a connection with Lin Key? Dongting pondered for a long time, and it seemed she had come up with a plan. After a while, she happily called Shu Yi. "I just returned from a business trip to South Africa and bought a necklace as a gift. Let's meet up when you're free." At Langyun Corporation Shanghai, in the meeting room, He Yuan reported to Lin Key. "The Saiki Shanghai company called me to discuss the compensation plan. Kiwi and I have researched it, and Zhao Mo has likely given up on the short-selling game." Lin Key was pleased, thinking they were still smart enough to know when to stop to avoid losses. He tasked Yuan and Xianzhao to quickly handle the financial recovery, as our company still owes the bank a lot of money. Yuan immediately complied. According to Xianzhao's calculations, after this round and the compensation from Saiki Company, the company could collect nearly $150 billion. Lin Key was pleased and said he would reward everyone handsomely for their hard work during the recent events. Hearing that Lin Key would give a generous reward, everyone cheered with joy. Seeing his subordinates like that, he felt very happy as well. At Liang Ru Yu's house, Lin Key opened the door and walked in, looking very joyful. Ru Yu was taking a shower, and upon hearing the noise, she guessed it was Lin Key and asked him to wait. "Wait for me to finish my shower. I'll be right out." Lin Key replied, "Okay." Just as he finished speaking, Ru Yu's phone rang. It was Zhao Mo calling. He said, "I have something to discuss about Langyun Corporation Shanghai. Do you have time right now?" Lin Key was surprised to see it was Zhao Mo, and he took Ru Yu's phone to answer. "She's in the shower and can't take the call. Please call her back tomorrow." Upon hearing a man's voice, Zhao Mo angrily asked, "She's in the shower? Who are you? Why are you answering Ru Yu's phone?" Lin Key put his feet up on the table and calmly replied, "Come on, have you really forgotten my voice already? Your memory isn't very good, is it?" Hearing that tone, Zhao Mo suddenly realized and angrily said, "You are Lin Key." Lin Key laughed loudly, mocking him. "Do you want to talk to her about me? I'm afraid that won't be possible today. Once she's done showering, we have other interesting things to do. Call back tomorrow." With that, Lin Key hung up. Immediately after that, a system interface appeared and a cloud of yellow smoke surrounded him. Lin Key clenched his fists, his face full of confidence. "In the world of ordinary people, there surely can't be any rivals left for me." The system appeared and asked Lin Ke, "Do you want to start a new career?" He agreed. A panel appeared in the system showing, "Experience as a personal shop owner. Career completion progress, 0%. The system invited the owner to receive a large gift package for the career, which included $10 million and a trendy tricycle. Lin Key was puzzled that the gift was just a tricycle, especially with the word trendy attached to it. The system just laughed at him. Lin Key put his arm around the system and asked, "Are there any specific requirements for the personal shop owner, or can I do whatever I want?" The system responded, "The paperwork and the trendy tricycle have been delivered downstairs. Please check and receive them." Lin Key eagerly rushed downstairs to check. Finally, what struck his eyes was a light pink tricycle. He was astonished. Is this really the trendy tricycle? Lin Key approached to take a look and found a stack of paperwork. He picked it up to examine and turned over the certificate and menu. Upon seeing the menu prices, Lin Key was immediately shocked by how high they were. He bewilderedly asked the system, "Am I really supposed to sell a plate of fried rice with eggs for $189? Moreover, it's supposed to be fried to perfection." At this moment, Liang Ru Yu stepped out and asked, "Lin Key, why did you bring someone else's tricycle here?" Lin Key happily replied, "What do you mean someone else's tricycle? This is the tricycle I just bought. Don't you think it's very trendy?" Ru Yu asked in surprise, "You bought this tricycle?" Lin Key placed his hand on the seat and said, "I'm planning to open a small shop to experience life. That's why I bought it. I can use it to transport anything I want." Upon hearing this, Ru Yu froze for a moment and then burst into laughter. "But isn't this pastel pink color a bit questionable?" Lin Key placed his hand on Ru Yu's shoulder and responded, "You probably didn't expect this, but deep down, I'm actually a little princess." After saying that, both of them went inside the house. Lin Key opened the door and said, "Oh, right, someone called you earlier. It was Zhao Mo. I answered the phone for you." Ru Yu plopped down on the sofa and replied, "Are you trying to make Zhao Mo furious? Be a little more humble, will you? Can you not make my life miserable these days? I'm so worried and anxious following you around." Lin Key sat down next to her and said, "That's not entirely true. You've had a hard time these past few days. Let me give you a massage." Ru Yu happily replied, "That would be nice." Lin Key then began to massage her. He worked in a very professional manner, and Ru Yu seemed to be enjoying it a lot. Lin Key continued to massage down to Ru Yu's lower back. She shyly turned around and said, "Lin Ke, are you going to torment me again?" Lin Key leaned in, lifted Ru Yu's chin, and said, "Then how are you planning to torment me?" Ru Yu's face turned bright red as she replied, "Well then." Lin Key seemed to understand, and his cheeks also flushed. They exchanged a passionate kiss. Lin Key gently lifted Ru Yu's head. After that, they spent the whole night together. Ru Yu even let out a loud "ah." The next morning at Lang Yun Corporation Shanghai, Lin Key arrived at the company in a good mood after being fed by her the night before. He hummed as he walked in and entered the meeting room. His staff was already waiting. A female employee spoke up, "Boss, you're here." Lin Key sat down and asked, "What's the situation with Zhao Mo?" An employee replied, "As we expected, there hasn't been much movement. They must have given up on confronting us." Lin Key inquired further, "Have we counted? How much can we collect?" The employee reported, "After paying off the bank loans, there will be over $80 billion left." Lin Key listened and then said, "Considering the current situation, the issue with Zhao Mo and the Huo Yin group can be considered resolved. There's no need to pay attention to them anymore." The team of employees replied in unison, "Understood, Boss Lin." Lin Key slammed his hand on the table and stood up abruptly, saying, "During this period, we will integrate Metron with Long XI and bring it to market quickly. Once it's on the market, we should attract more tech companies to invest in the stocks." He continued, "All right, meeting is over." On Zhangyang Street, Lin Key was driving his light pink tricycle leisurely. He looked at the bustling crowd and thought to himself, "Since graduation, I haven't returned to this place." At number 89 Zhangyang Street, Lin Key was standing in front of a house. The eye-catching pink tricycle had attracted the attention of passersby, who silently remarked, "What the hell, Pink?" Lin Key entered the house. On the floor was a pile of cardboard boxes, and he pointed at the boxes and said to the system, "System, aren't you getting too monotonous? The store has been handed over to me. Can't you be a little generous and give me a sign?" The system replied, "A sign can be provided as a bonus. The owner can specify the requirements." Lin Key said, "The name must be unique and unusual, so that when people look at the sign, they feel that the food in the store is very delicious and can't resist the desire to spend money." The system immediately issued a task. "All right, please take it upon yourself to complete the store renovation within 24 hours. The reward is 100,000 proficiency points." Lin Key asked, "During the renovation process, can I find someone to help?" The system replied, "Yes, but you must follow your own wishes. Others are only there to assist." Lin Key rolled up his sleeves and said, "All right, let's get to work." He stood silently in front of several brooms, then thought to himself, "I need to send a message to Wang Tianlong and choose a few people from the hotel to come help." Suddenly, King Ren called from behind, "Lin Key." Lin Key was startled and turned around to say, "King Ren." She excitedly said, "I just went to Lang Yun Corporation to look for you. Yunyuan said you were at the business street near the university, so I came to check it out." Lin Key replied happily, "Ah, how did you know I was here?" King Ren looked into the store and asked, "Is this the store you want to open?" Lin Key picked up a broom and replied cheerfully, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to clean up. Just a little reorganizing and we can have the grand opening." King Ren unexpectedly said, "Let's clean up together." Lin Key immediately responded, "No, it's fine. I can handle it. Otherwise, you'll get covered in dust. Please help me buy some decorations to make it look nice." King Ren listened and happily said, "Okay, that's my strong point." After saying that, she left to buy some things. After a while, King Ren hurriedly returned carrying a bunch of decorations. She smiled and said, "I'm back. Let's start decorating." Lin Key's restaurant looked really luxurious and bright. Suddenly, King Ren noticed the menu placed on a dining table. She curiously asked, "How can a plate of fried rice with egg be sold for $189? Who can afford that? Fried rice with egg at the Bandao Hotel isn't that expensive." Lin Key quickly explained, "That's the unique feeling of the dishes I cook. You could eat for free, but others have to pay." King Ren pretended to be cute and said, $189 is a bit too expensive. Most of the customers passing by this road are students who don't have money. Lin Key shyly scratched his head and thought, I don't want to set such a high price, but the system forces me to. So Lin Key could only sigh and say, can't be done. If I lower the price, it's like selling my looks. Fing Ren was startled and angrily said, how dare you? Lin Key replied, so what? I can't change the price now. You're the boss, so try to come up with a solution. Fing Ren responded, then we can only go for a high-end option. She suddenly had an idea. I will replace the tables, chairs, and utensils with the best things and use the best ingredients. Just like this fried rice with eggs, in addition to the eggs and rice, you can add sea cucumber and abalone. Lin Key brightened up, leaning his face against King Ren. You are amazing. This is a great idea. How come I didn't think of that? Fing Ren shyly replied, you are about to wipe out all my foundation. Lin Key kept being affectionate with King Ren, saying a few words. Meanwhile, he did notice that someone outside had been watching them all along. Manager Wang and the staff stood frozen, and the staff member asked, Manager Wang, what should we do now? Should we go in or not? Manager Wang then gave him a strong tap on the head and said, wait outside. We'll go in after Boss Lin finishes his private matters. Fing Ren's face was covered in Lin Key's saliva, and she shyly said, a little kiss is enough. You've been kissing for so long, my face is full of your saliva. It's disgusting. Lin Key pressed the light switch to see how the lights were here. The light turned on, and a pink lotus color enveloped the whole room. Lin Key thought to himself, you brought me that pink tricycle. I can endure it, but why did you prepare this lighting? Is this a restaurant or a nightclub? Seeing this scene, King Ren said, actually, liking pink is not a big deal. As long as you still like women, it shows that your mentality is still normal. Lin Key panikedly explained, that's not true. Don't jump to conclusions. King Ren turned away and said, go check in the kitchen. Lin Key hurriedly chased after her, saying, just hear me out. In the glass cabinet, shiny clean plates were neatly arranged and kitchen utensils hung on racks, making the kitchen look tidier. King Ren led Lin Key into the kitchen, which was organized and decorated in a simple yet elegant brown and white tone. She excitedly said, everything here is quite sufficient. We don't need to prepare anything else. I saw outside that we should keep a few puppets and dolls limited to what Yunyuan can bring. Lin Key suddenly realized something and anxiously asked, wait, something seems off here. Why do we need to prepare puppets and dolls? This place is a restaurant, not a kindergarten. King Ren shook her hand dismissively and said nonchalantly, don't you like things like that too? This is our restaurant, so of course it's decorated according to our preferences. Lin Key felt King Ren's words hit him like a bolt from the blue and his face turned red. He patted King Ren's back, making her jump. Lin Key softly reprimanded, I'm telling you, the style of this place has nothing to do with me. Seeing him standing with his arms crossed, sulking, King Ren lowered her voice and squeezed his shoulders. Lin Ke, all right, it has nothing to do with you. Suddenly, the door opened. A handsome young man, dressed neatly, appeared, followed by about 10 people cleaning up. The young man politely bent down and said, hello, Mr. Lin, hello, Miss G. Lin Key pointed to the kitchen cabinet and instructed, this is my new store. Both of us have thought about specific decoration ideas. Now I will tell you. After listening to Lin Key present the ideas for a while, the young man agreed, Boss Lin, rest assured, I will definitely help you renovate it to have a luxurious feel. Lin Key nodded in satisfaction. Okay, let's do it that way. Then he left with Jai King Ren. Suddenly remembering something, King Ren turned to Lin Key and asked, do we need to call someone to set up for the grand opening tomorrow? He thought for a moment and replied, maybe not. I just want peace. People in this world shouldn't be too ostentatious. King Ren smiled at Lin Key. Your good-heartedness is truly rare. If you were to direct everything at Lang Yun Corporation every day, I think the value of Lang Yun Corporation would double. Upon hearing her compliment, Lin Key smiled smugly, standing still there without getting in the car. Seeing this, King Ren was confused, not knowing what he was planning to do by standing there. Suddenly, Lin Key chuckled, poked her in the waist, causing King Ren to jump aside. Not to be outdone, she snapped her fingers at Lin Key, making him laugh heartily for successfully teasing her. The next morning, Lin Key returned to the restaurant. As soon as he opened the door, the designer stepped forward to greet him. Hello, Mr. Lin. He smiled and asked, busy all night? Lin Key generously said, after finishing, I'll reward everyone with an additional $1,000. Working all night is really tiring anyway. The designer quickly nodded. Thank you, Boss Lin. Lin Key looked around the dining room. The tables and chairs were neatly arranged, from the tablecloths to the seats, all displayed very tastefully. The chandelier hanging from the ceiling was exquisitely crafted, making the entire room look luxurious. He smiled in satisfaction. While Lin Key and the designer were discussing, a delivery person came in and asked, "Is Mr. Lin here?" Lin Key turned to look. "That's me. Is there something you need?" The delivery person pointed behind him and said, "We are from Hong the Advertising Decoration Company. A few days ago, you ordered a signboard, and today, we brought it to you." Lin Key stepped closer and pulled off the red cover. What caught his eye was a wooden sign engraved with 3 words that were coated in shiny gold. Seeing this, Lin Key was left speechless, thinking to himself, "Is this a joke from the system?" After he held up the sign, the system promptly announced the completion of the task. Career progress completed 20% reward. Legendary menu of a master chef. In the kitchen, a variety of ingredients were laid out. Eggs, jade grain rice, premium SD25 rice exported from Vietnam. Lin Key wore an apron and looked at the ingredients, then asserted, "With this amount of stock, no shop on Zhang Yang Street can manage it." Suddenly, the kitchen door opened. Yuan and Jai King Ren walked in. Yuan waved to Lin Key. "Boss." He rolled up his sleeves and asked, "You're here early?" Yuan felt down at that. "I didn't want to come either. It was the senior sister who dragged me here. Why is it that some people can sit high up as vice presidents, but I'm just here to wash dishes?" In contrast to Yuan, Ji King Ren smiled and said, "Why say you're just here to wash dishes? It's a great opportunity to sycophantically impress your superiors. Let's stick to work." A while later, a young couple appeared at the entrance of Lin Key's restaurant. The girl spoke, "Jiwon, look at this restaurant's name. It's really interesting." The boy, Liu Jiwon, a university student, happily introduced to his girlfriend. "This is Tong Fi, also a student. It's really special. It seems to be newly opened. I've never seen it before. Do you want to go in and try it?" As the couple opened the door and walked in, they were overwhelmed by the splendor inside. Tong Fi hesitated and said to her boyfriend, "Jiwon, how about we go to another place instead?" Jai King Ren stepped out and saw a couple entering. She gently spoke to them, urging them to sit down. Liu Jiwon, upon seeing her beauty, felt a rush of emotions. "What kind of place is this? The staff here look like celestial beings. With this demeanor, becoming a movie star wouldn't be difficult." Liu Jiwon was so captivated that he forgot his girlfriend Tong Fi was beside him. Tong Fi shot a sharp glare at Liu Jiwon. This situation seems to be dangerously close for him. Ha ha ha. Tong Fi flashed a bright, polite smile, pulled Liu Jiwon away, and quickly apologized. "We took a wrong turn, sorry." Jack King Ren noticed this and had a slight look of surprise on her face. Liu Jiwon remained stubborn, refusing to leave. "Let's eat here. I think the food here is very good." Tong Fi immediately leaned in close to Liu Jiwon and reminded him, "No way, it's clear that this place is quite high-end. We can't afford to eat here." In front of the girl, Liu Jiwon seemed to manipulate the situation. "It's fine. Most of the restaurants on this street are expensive. Since we're here, we might as well eat here." Tong Fi started to waver because of his words. Suddenly, Lin Key came out and asked the two of them, "Has the customer ordered yet?" Lin Key appeared in a chef's outfit, but around him seemed to radiate alluring beams of light. Maybe he knew he was handsome, and that's why he acted like this. Now it was Tong Fi's turn. She was smitten. "This male chef is really too handsome." Liu Jiwon was a bit surprised by the quick turnaround, faster than the speed of light. Tong Fi, thick-skinned like a car tire, turned to Liu Jiwon and said, "I'm a bit tired. I don't want to go anymore. Let's just eat here." Liu Jiwon immediately agreed cheerfully. The two of them sat down at the dining table. Yuan brought them the menu, coldly saying, "Here is the menu." When Liu Jiwon looked at the prices for the dishes on the menu, he was taken aback. "Oh my god, a plate of fried rice with egg costs $189. Ji King Ren stepped over to take the menu back and cheerfully asked Liu Jiwon, "Have you ordered anything yet?" Liu Jiwon was enchanted by her beauty, unsure of anything, as if he had lost his soul, and replied, "Miss, you are so beautiful. We will order 2 plates of fried rice with egg." Ji King Ren happily noted it down. Liu Jiwon turned pale, realizing he just said the wrong thing. I ordered instinctively. Tong Fi looked at Liu Jiwon without taking her eyes off him. Perhaps after returning home, Liu Jiwon was definitely doomed. 10 minutes later, the 2 plates of egg fried rice they ordered were served. Liu Jiwon and Tong Fi marveled as they realized the rice was glowing. Liu Jiwon scooped a spoonful of rice and brought it to his mouth, overreacting, with his mouth still chewing, his eyes sparkling. "You've got to try it quickly. The egg fried rice at this restaurant is truly indescribably delicious, and there are beef balls inside. Tastes amazing. I've never eaten anything like this before." Tong Fi looked at Liu Jiwon as if he were insane. She calmly replied, "You are exaggerating too much." Then she took a spoonful of rice to taste. After trying it, Tong Fi's eyes instantly lit up like a flash. She felt as if she had been lifted to the ninth cloud. Oh my god, can egg fried rice be this delicious? Then the two of them ate frantically without pausing for breath. They quickly finished both plates of rice. After eating, they went to meet Lin Ke. Before leaving, they praised the owner. You cook really well. Although it's a bit expensive, it's worth every penny to enjoy. Lin Key radiated a bright aura. As long as the two diners enjoyed their meal, that was enough. Next, Liu Jiwon proceeded to pay for the meal. Boss, where's the QR code for the restaurant? Please bill me. Lin Key also acted as the cashier. Got it. Suddenly, the system unexpectedly launched a confetti celebration for Lin Key. Lin Key, still holding his phone, felt a bit surprised. Ling Wai appeared with a notification for Lin Ke. Congratulations, Master, on successfully hosting your first customer. Your professional proficiency is at 50%. You have received a bone density enhancement medication. Hearing this, Lin Key thought for a moment, then excitedly focused on the potion displayed in the system window. What is the effect of the bone density enhancement medication? Ling Wai immediately replied, it increases bone regeneration capacity, ensuring effectiveness. Without hesitation, Lin Key chose it. Oh shit, this is good stuff. The potion was immediately absorbed into Lin Key's body. Shortly after absorbing it, Lin Key breathed a sigh of relief. Awesome, now I have the physical condition for immortal cultivation. 5 hours later, it was late afternoon. Still at Lin Key's restaurant, Hyunyuan, seeing no more customers, suggested to Jai King Ren, Sister, we should finish work now. It's already past 7 in the evening, and there probably won't be any more customers coming in. Jai King Ren agreed, all right, let's call it a day. I need to rethink our business approach or we'll end up losing a fortune. Just then, a customer walked in. This person entered the restaurant at just the right time. Fang Yeshu sat down at a table and arrogantly said, what special offerings do you have at your place? Tell me once. Fang Yeshu revealed a look of disgust, his malicious eyes fixed on He Yunyuan and Jai King Ren. Jai King Ren remained oblivious, still smiling. While He Yunyuan was different, she had noticed Fang Yeshu's lewd gaze. He Yunyuan curtly said, especially the egg fried rice, the vegetable dishes too. Fang Yeshu sneered and ordered, then bring me a plate of egg fried rice. What drinks do you have? Just bring me any bottle. He Yunyuan frowned slightly. Anything will do? Immediately after, He Yunyuan took a bottle of wine off the shelf and presented it. Then the Satchelato $280,000 a bottle. I'll open it for you. Fang Yeshu was shocked, his eyes wide. What did you say? Satchelato 82. He Yunyuan seriously explained. Weren't you the one who said I could recommend anything? I think this wine suits you very well. All the male customers at our place order this bottle. Fang Yeshu felt humiliated, unsure of where to hide his face. He cleared his throat a few times to ease the embarrassment, then spoke in a condescending tone as if he were an expert. Little girl, it's obvious you don't know much about wine. That wine is only suitable for drinking in bars or Western restaurants. Drinking red wine with egg fried rice isn't very appropriate. Just bring me a cup of milk tea. He Yunyuan slammed the bottle down, showing her attitude. Fine, which startled Fang Yeshu. He Yunyuan had only taken a few steps when Fang Yeshu immediately tempted her. Little girl, did you just come from the countryside? With looks like yours, why would you work here? What a pity. Your education level must not be high, right? He Yunyuan was extremely annoyed with this customer. What does that have to do with you? Besides, I don't care about that, so just stop talking about it. Fang Yeshu finally revealed his purpose. I'm Fang Yeshu, a lecturer in the directing department at Zhanghai Drama Academy. With your looks, it's such a shame to be working here. I can help you both break into showbiz and develop. He Yunyuan bluntly asked. From what you just said, it sounds like you want to sponsor me, doesn't it? Fang Yeshu was taken aback. Little girl, why are you saying it so bluntly? Fang Yeshu had a strange tone, sour like lemonade without sugar, twisting and turning in all directions. However, since she had thought about it, we could chat a bit more. He Yunyuan was completely enraged. She was no longer polite and showed no regard for Fang Yeshu's face. She held out her car keys. This is my car. Why don't you take a look and tell me if I sleep with you for one night, how much money would be enough? Fang Yeshu was stunned. Are you really that rich? He was still winking and mocking. Little sister, aren't you just kidding me? He Yunyuan was about to explode with anger. At that moment, Lin Key came out and said, the fried rice with egg is ready. Seeing He Yunyuan's mood, Lin Key asked, what's wrong? He Yunyuan tried to suppress her anger, took the portion of rice Lin Key handed her, and replied with a slightly harsh tone, nothing, just give it to me. As soon as she took a bite of the fried rice with egg, Fang Yeshu praised it. It's really delicious. I can't find the words to describe the flavor of this plate of fried rice with egg. After finishing, Fang Yeshu rubbed his round belly and burped. So good, what a shameless person. Fang Yeshu pulled out a $100 bill and said, here's the payment. He even Yuan put her hands on her hips. The total is $277. One bill is not enough. Feng Yushu was shocked by the total price of the 2 items he had ordered. What did you say? I only ordered 1 plate of fried rice with egg and a cup of milk tea, and you're charging me $277. Do you really need money that badly? Even Yuan sighed. Someone like you is not worth us doing that. Besides, the menu has specific prices for each dish. Why would we rob you? Feng Yushu immediately bent down to review the prices on the menu. Indeed, as Yuan said, the prices were completely accurate. Feng Yushu stood up and pointed directly at them, threatening. Your restaurant is essentially robbery. I hope you will charge according to normal prices. If not, I will report you. Lin Key kicked Feng Yushu without any hesitation and said, hurry up and pay the bill and get out. Feng Yushu lay on the floor with her backside in the air. Jack King Ren quickly intervened, saying to Lin Key, let it go. Finally, the amount of $277 was paid and Feng Yushu ran away quickly, but not before saying a few words. Robbers, just wait there. Then Lin Key put the money away. Lei Wai appeared cheerfully, saying, only delicious food and love can truly be appreciated. Special mission completed. The task completion progress is 70%, and the reward for refining essence is a type of food. Lin Key asked curiously, what is refining essence? Does it mean that if I have a Baozi in front of me right now, I can just touch it to get the energy inside? Ling Wai smiled brightly like flowers blooming in spring. That's quite similar. Lin Key seemed to be rather indifferent. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a waste of my mouth? Ling Wai innocently asked, pouting. Could it be that the master's mouth is only used for eating? Lin Key reached out and wrapped an arm around Ling Wai's neck, gently saying, you're right. With their lips close together, Lin Key even buried her face in Ling Wai's chest. Ling Wei still forced herself to say, that's right, this skill can be transmitted as long as there's something edible. If there are 2 chestnuts in front of the master can use her skill to transfer energy to the other chestnut, and that chestnut will contain double the energy. Only then did Lin Key pull her head back and contemplate. If this skill isn't limited to food, that would be amazing. Suddenly, Ji King Ren patted Lin Key on the shoulder and comforted her. Lin Key, stop being dazed. Don't pay attention to people like that. As soon as she finished speaking, 2 women entered the shop. Teacher Go, with a confident demeanor, was slightly surprised to see Lin Key. She inquired, Lin Key, what are you doing here? Lin Key replied casually, nothing much. I opened a small eatery here and kill time during my free moments. The woman next to Teacher Go suddenly spoke up and asked, Teacher Go, do you 2 know each other? Perhaps this person likes to stand out by interrupting when others are talking. The woman is Wang Mai Yun, a representative from Donglai Media. Wang Mai Yun smiled at Lin Key with a meaningful expression. Huor stood in the middle, looking at Lin Key and pointing towards Wang Mai Yun. This is Lin Key, my friend. This is Wang Mai Yun from Donglai Media. We just finished discussing something, so we stopped by for a meal. Wang Mai Yun looked at Guo and blushed slightly pleased. Teacher Go, your friend here has a very handsome appearance. Huo looked at Wang Mai Yun seriously. Ha! Wang Mai Yun extended her hand to shake Lin Key's hand. Do you plan to enter showbiz? With our company's guidance, you could become a star. Lin Key looked surprised at Wang Mai Yun, feeling awkward. He scratched his head. Guo was taken aback, looking at Wang Mai Yun. It seems he isn't really interested in that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come here to open this small eatery. Let's eat first. I haven't had a bite to eat since this morning, Guo said. Guo and Wang Mai Yun sat down at the table. Wang Mai Yun was interested in watching Lin Key the entire time. Guo happily looked at Lin Key. Bring me a plate of stir-fried vegetables, 2 cups of milk tea, a plate of pickled radish, and some beauty soup. Lin Key smiled at Wang Mai Yun and Guo. Okay, wait a moment, and then went to get the food. When Lin Key left, Wang Mai Yun leaned close to Guo and teased, is he your little lover? This nearly made Guo choke on her drink, unsure of what to say. Guo blushed slightly, awkwardly looking at Wang Mai Yun. How could that be? Are you interested in him? Didn't your company already have many handsome young men? Wang Mai Yun glanced away with red eyes. Those types are already past their expiration date. I'm just reluctantly using them. They're not really what I like. Lin Key brought food to the table for Guo and Wang Mai Yun joyfully. See how it is, give me your evaluation. Wang Mai Yun took a business card from her bag, happily looking at Lin Key. The size of your restaurant isn't very big, and the food and drinks are priced high. I guess your business isn't going very well. When you need it, remember to call me. I can't promise much, but at least I can help you reduce 50 years of your career. Lin Key looked at Wang Mai Yun in surprise. Are you suggesting that you want to support me? Wang Maiyun looked at Lin Key with a smile. Supporting you wouldn't be impossible. My worth is at least $350 million. You need to think seriously. Give it some careful thought. Guo was startled and looked at Wang Maiyun with discomfort. Maiyun, you? Wang Maiyun was startled and looked at Guo. Lin Key was still standing there. Jai King Ren pushed the door open and walked in, looking glamorous. Lin Key smiled happily at Jai King Ren. I think you'd have to wait for me for a bit. Jai King Ren stood in front of Lin Key. I just came to your Langyun Corporation and I received nearly $80 billion from Zhao Mo. The compensation from Psyche Company has also been transferred to the company's account. The amount of money I currently have is over $120 billion. Kuo returned to look at Lin Key somewhat calm, while Wang Maiyun was startled and panicked. Wang Maiyun was so shocked that her mouth fell open as she looked at Lin Key, thinking, what? $120 billion? Hudo calmly looked at Wang Maiyun. I knew he was wealthy, but I didn't expect he had so much money. Huo noticed Wang Maiyun was in an awkward situation. Guo cheerfully stood up. Lin Key, how much do you think I should pay? Lin Key was startled and looked at Guo. Wang Maiyun was still sitting there, looking somewhat uncomfortable. Lin Key joyfully looked at Wang Maiyun. Are you eating so quickly that your friend here doesn't want to take care of me? Wang Maiyun was startled and worried when she saw Lin Key. Guo looked happily at Lin Key. Don't say nonsense. It was just a joke. Didn't your girlfriend just come here? How much is it in total? I'll transfer the money to you. Lin Key replied, the total is $590. Guo happily nodded. Okay, see you later. Lin Key stood there watching Wang Maiyun and Guo hurriedly leave. Suddenly, the system appeared before Lin Key. Career completion progressed 80%. Lucky card reward 1. Time limit 10 minutes. Lin Key stood with his hands on his hips, seriously looking at the system, contemplating this round's reward. Last time the time limit was only 5 minutes, but this time it was doubled. Not bad, not bad. Jai King Ren happily placed a hand on Lin Key's shoulder. Mr. Lin, what are you still doing standing there? Your charm hasn't decreased at all. Are there still people wanting to foster you? Lin Key tried his best to pose. Good looking and rich, a young and handsome man like me is the most lethal weapon for women of all ages. Jai King Ren did not seem to care much, picking up a broom to sweep. Stop talking nonsense. Go get to work. Lin Key awkwardly looked at Jai King Ren and then worriedly asked, have you asked anything from the investment department? I plan to invest in the high-tech industry to prepare for the photolithography machine. Jai King Ren was taken aback and looked at Lin Kei. I discussed that with Boss Tian too. They have also found a few relatively good enterprises. Lin Key seriously looked at Jai King Ren. However, this investment plan starts from $1 billion, so subsequent investments need to be more cautious. You better call them to set up a meeting regarding this investment issue, along with bringing Long Tag to the stock market. An hour later, Yun Yuan led the way, followed by Tian Dian and Lu Ying, and finally Zhang Dingchun and Sun Fu. Lin Key stood with his arms crossed, looking at everyone. We are all family here. If there's anything you want to say, just say it outright. Yun Yuan sat next to Tian Dian, stood up seriously, and looked at Lin Key. Boss Tian is planning to invest in several promising companies. The future looks very promising and there is potential to overcome the turning point. Everyone should take a look and study it a bit. Lin Key picked up a file and looked at Yun Yuan. Go on, you just mentioned overcoming the turning point. What do you mean by that? Yun Yuan replied seriously. Any components related to photolithography machines have been banned from being imported into Hua. The suppliers producing these core components are all overseas. Therefore, our investment plan needs to focus on these foreign organizations. Lu Ying looked very serious. The situation is indeed that critical. Among those, there are still a few components that Huaxida Enterprises can produce. Our laboratory is working on resolving other issues. Additionally, we also have Mr. Shen researching an invention in a project that is much more complicated. Yun Yuan sitting next to him continued seriously. No matter how formidable Mr. Shen is, he cannot prevent foreign countries from imposing a technology blocking on us. It's better to use capital pressure to handle this. Lu Ying sat next to Sun Fu, seriously looking at Yun Yuan. Mr. Shen has also spoken to us privately about these matters. If you want to invest in the field of technical courses, it's best to invest in domestic companies. He is very knowledgeable about technologies and high-tech companies abroad. Even the foreign companies we invest in with advancements in research and development will definitely be limited. Jai King Ren seriously thought, isn't Yun Yuan's plan benefiting others? Lin Key, serious and angry, looked to Yun Yuan and Tian Dian. making both of them fearful and worried while looking at Lin Key. Lin Key angrily slammed his hand on the table. Tian anxiously looked at Lin Key. Boss Lin, this is my oversight. I didn't consider this issue. He even Yuan also looked anxiously at Lin Key. In anger, Lin Key forcefully slammed the document file in front of Tian and He Yuan. Take this plan back and redo it. If there are any more major mistakes, both of you will be demoted. Tian's face looked very bad, while He Yuan nervously picked up the document file, anxious and scared. I understand, Boss Lin. Lin Key rested his chin on his hand, looking towards Liu Ying and Sun Fu. How far along is the mobile phone system? Is there any breakthrough progress? Sun Fu, sitting next to Liu Ying, was startled as he looked at Lin Key. We are currently focusing on development. The ecosystem has also seen some breakthroughs. Sun Fu was worried. But even if we create a good system, if no one is willing to develop software that fits that system, then no matter how good the system is, it will be useless. Lin Key looked at Sun Fu seriously. Leave the external matters to me. Mr. Sun, please share your opinion. Sun Fu looked at Lin Key seriously. Actually, everyone probably already knows that if this project is approved, it will be very difficult to bring benefits to the company. For example, we have been pushed out of the game by the giants in the mobile phone sector. The longer the time drags on, the greater the distance becomes. It will be very difficult to catch up. He even looked at Sun Fu with a start, worried. Tian closed his eyes in agreement. Liu Ying remained serious and said nothing. Sun Fu felt a bit anxious, fearing he might say something wrong. Jia King Ren said seriously, Director Sun's opinion is very good. She looked at everyone. Based on the development models of Longside Group and DD, it seems that we might achieve cooperation and consensus on this issue, using it to offset the risks of entering the mobile phone market. Jiang Dingchun looked at Jia King Ren in astonishment, admiring her. Boss Lady Jia is truly formidable, resolving the conflicts of both sides and maintain face for both parties. Taiyuan happily looked at Jia King Ren. Boss Lady Ji is very reasonable. This could be a new opportunity for us. Lin Key slammed his hand on the table, seriously looking at everyone. Mr. Sun, you all continue to develop the mobile phone system and also research a bit on travel AI issues. Lin Key turned seriously to look at Jiang Dingchun. The issue of Longsai merging with Metrong and being listed on the stock market. The matter of operations and specific procedures will be assigned to you. Jiang Dingchun was startled, anxiously looking at Lin Key. Assigned to me? I'm afraid I won't be able to do it. Afraid I'll mess everything up. Liu Ying seriously pulled on the sleeve of the worried Jiang Dingchun. She looked at Lin Key. You can do it. Lin Key happily looked at Jiang Dingchun. Being confident is enough. You go ahead and do this. Collaborate with Boss Lady He and Boss Tian. Prepare for bringing Long Sai to the stock market. Lin Key seriously looked at everyone. All right. Let's conclude today's meeting here. Everyone go ahead. A moment later, Tom Fly brought 3 girls to greet Lin Key. Boss, to cheer you on, I brought my classmates here. Tom Fee happily pointed at Lin Key for everyone. Look, didn't I tell you? The boss here is very handsome, right? The girl with pink hair excitedly looked at Lin Key. He's not just handsome, he's stunningly handsome. Suddenly, I have the motivation to go to school now. Don't say a plate of fried rice with eggs costs $189. Even if it were $300, I would come to cheer. He even leaned close to Jai King Ren. Sister, these kids seem to not take you seriously. Jai King Ren replied seriously. I'm not paying attention to those kids either. She looked at the people who just arrived for the meeting. You guys shouldn't just sit there. Hurry up and stand up. Help out a little. 10 minutes later, Lin Key brought food to the table for the 4 girls. Please enjoy. Tong Fei looked at Lin Key. Is it just you running this restaurant as the chef? The girl with pink hair also looked at Lin Key. Lin Key looked at Tong Fei seriously. Sometimes a few of my friends come to help. Tong Fei asked, do you need part-time waitstaff at your place? The girl with pink hair also looked at Lin Key. Yes. Are you thinking of hiring waitstaff? Lin Key looked startled at the 2 girls and scratched his face. I'm not sure about that yet. Our hiring standards are very high. You should study more before we talk. Tom Fee looked at Lin Key in confusion. High standards just means serving trays and washing dishes. Do you really need formal education for that? Tom Fee cheerfully looked at Liu Ying, who was serving. Sister, what is your educational background? Liu Ying was serious. Doctor of Science and Technology in Computer Science. Tom Fee and the girl with pink hair stared at Liu Ying in shock, mouths agape. Sister, what is your level of education? A girl approached with a very cheerful expression. Hearing that question, he even glanced at the other person and softly replied, I study at Yande University, majoring in economics and international relations with a doctorate. Everyone around was stunned upon hearing those words. They couldn't believe what they had just heard. Lin Key, however, smiled smugly. He turned his head, scratched his head with one hand, and replied in a thoughtful tone, wearing a somewhat awkward smile. Actually, I was considering letting you come here to work, but the standard conditions really do not allow it. I'm very sorry. The girl with gray-black hair spoke up with a cheerful expression. I think we shouldn't overthink anymore. After we eat, we need to go back and work hard. Wait until we get our doctorate and then come here to apply for a job. Hearing this, the pink-haired girl next to her nodded in agreement. Yes, yes. Then they moved to the table, all showing clear expressions of eagerness to eat. They continuously scooped rice into their mouths at such a quick pace that even Lin Key felt frightened by the scene unfolding before him. He was stunned by this sight. Inside the maintenance room, Yuan spoke in a worried tone and asked her senior, "Didn't you say before that you wouldn't take the initiative to get involved in the company's matters? Everything I'm saying comes from the company's interests. I haven't done anything wrong." She directed her gaze towards Jai King Ren and spoke with a worried tone. Hearing the girl in front of him say such words, Jai King Ren lightly tapped her forehead with his hand. Yuan felt the pain and exclaimed, "Ah!" At that moment, Jai King Ren turned his head and said gently, "You are thinking too simplistically. Lin Key is not lacking in money at all. Moreover, his purpose from the beginning to the end has been about the future." Yuan responded confidently, "I know that I can distinguish between public and private matters clearly." Outside the villa, sunlight streamed through the windows, creating a mysterious beauty hidden within. The closed sign was flipped over. A man's silhouette stood by the main door, gripping the sign and placing it outside. Suddenly, Ling Wai appeared. She hugged Lin Key tightly and said cheerfully, 100% job completion, a reward of $10 million, solar-powered mobile phone. This unexpected appearance left him somewhat stunned. He glanced up at her. The system immediately displayed a notification. A pair of feet rested on the table. Lin Key, with an annoyed expression and a mind filled with thoughts, wondered to himself, is the next profession a streamer? It seems I have to not only research and invent the 3.0 chip program, but also do live streaming. This path is a bit challenging. The bright sunlight shone on the buildings, recreating the beauty of an ancient space. The sound of a keyboard tapping away echoed continuously. One hand rested on the keys and kept typing. The content began to run, programmed, and displayed on the screen. Jai King Ren propped her chin up with her hand and spoke in a cheerful tone. Lin Key, the issue with mobile phones can't be resolved overnight. Come on, let's go outside for a bit of fresh air. Hearing this, his gaze turned directly towards her. All right, let's take a walk near the university. As he spoke, his hand pushed against the table as he stood up. The scene shifted outside at the university. The buildings were sturdily constructed, standing tall against the clear blue sky, without a cloud in sight. Sunlight streamed down, cutting through the modern architecture. Both Jai King Ren and Lin Key were strolling through the school grounds. King Ren pointed in one direction and said, "The school has a forest like this?" Upon hearing this, he covered his mouth with his hand and replied softly, "That's their experimental area, but it has become a dating spot for couples." Hearing this, King Ren's face showed clear embarrassment. She seemed unable to believe what she had just heard, her face turning. The sound of the wind rustling through the leaves created a continuous rustling noise. At that moment, King Ren leaned closer to Lin Key and softly said, "Every time I see these kids, I feel old." Hearing this, he lowered his head and replied, "I'll go for a walk with you a bit more, then you'll feel younger." In his hand, he held a leaf, gazing gently at the girl beside him. At that moment, a voice called out, "Boss." This caught the attention of both of them, and they turned to look. "Are you two here to play?" A woman with gray-black hair appeared, waving at Lin Key. Everyone around looked in his direction. Lin Key stepped forward and said, "Hello, everyone." Upon hearing this, the two replied, "Hello, boss." "Hello, sister." A young man in sportswear threw a basketball toward Lin Key and said, "Boss, get in. You know how to play basketball, right?" Hearing this, he grabbed the ball, excitement evident on his face, and responded, "What's there to know or not know? I have practiced these childish games until I'm extremely skilled." The sound of dribbling echoed constantly. He ran quickly forward, continuously bouncing the ball on the ground. Lin Key jumped high and threw the ball with incredible speed. Everyone below could only gasp as if they couldn't believe their eyes. The ball immediately fell straight into the basket. Seeing this scene, King Ren was delighted and kept cheering. "So handsome. Do it again. One more time." Hearing this, he gently bounced the ball on the ground and replied, "I'll throw one more." Everyone around turned their eyes toward him. One person among them exclaimed in disbelief with a tone of disdain, "Are you trying to show off from that far away? You might not even hit the rim." Another person added, "I think he's trying to show off too. If that goes in, I'll eat the whole basketball. As he spoke, he crossed his arms with a slightly disdainful expression. Lin Key gathered strength and threw the ball from his palm. The ball immediately soared high into the air with incredible speed and distance. Everyone around focused their eyes on it. At that height, the ball went through the net. Seeing that, everyone was astonished and shouted loudly, "Holy shit, that was spot on." At this moment, Jai King Ren approached him and said, "Wow, Lin Key, you are amazing." He looked at her and said, "I have something even more formidable to show you." As those words were spoken, King Ren's expression turned shy. She said, "Is there something more formidable? Look at those boys around. They're all looking at you with envy. At first glance, they don't seem as formidable as you." A young man approached Lin Key and said, "Boss, throwing the ball into the hoop is pointless. How about we throw a few balls away?" Hearing this, Lin Key's eyes lit up as he replied, "My girlfriend wants to see me showcase my skills. Wait until I finish my performance, then we can play a few rounds." As soon as he finished speaking, he quickly ran toward the hoop. His speed was astonishing, his hands relentlessly dribbling the ball on the ground. His gaze became determined, and Lin Key jumped high. Everyone around was amazed, their hands reaching out to prepare for a dunk. The ball was immediately dunked into the hoop. Lin Key's face revealed clear satisfaction. The people below, witnessing the scene, became frantic, shouting, "Holy shit, that's a slime dunk. How can an ordinary person do this?" Jai King Ren jumped up, directed her gaze at Lin Key, and shouted, "That's amazing." Her arms wrapped around Lin Key's body tightly, and her lips gently touched his cheek. Seeing this, he smiled brightly. The sound of the ball hitting the ground echoed as he threw it toward the group of basketball players. They were startled and quickly reached for it. Seeing this, Lin Key called out, "Why are you just standing there? Are we playing or not?" Their expressions became tense as they looked at him. The group of people immediately turned around in panic and left with awkward expressions. I don't feel very comfortable today. Let's not play today. Let's play another day." Hearing this, he turned away and replied, "If we're not playing, that's fine. It's getting late, so let's head back." The people around were stunned and exclaimed, "Wow," with surprised expressions. The scene shifted to Zhujiaoji. Sunlight shone on the ancient buildings. The sounds of the game on the phone echoed throughout the room. A hand gently touched Lin Key's face. Jai King Ren approached and sat on his body. She caressed his face and said, "You were really amazing just now, making others envious of you." Hearing this, Lin Key replied, "It was just 3 shots and a slime dunk. Does that make you happy until now? What if you see someone better looking in the future? Would you change your mind?" The sound from the phone rang out. King Ren heard this and responded, "Don't worry, even when you get old, walk with difficulty, or become paralyzed, I will push you in a wheelchair. I will definitely not let you sit aside while I dance with other men in the square." Hearing that, Lin Key's expression turned serious. He fell silent, looking worried, and exclaimed, "Could it be that when you get old, you won't be able to be a little healthier? Would you really end up paralyzed at the end of your life?" At that moment, King Ren, with a bright smile, replied, "Ha ha ha, I was just giving an example. I will still love you in the future. Even if you need life support later, I will definitely call all the doctors to do their best to save you." But not paying attention to what she had just said, he pushed her face aside with one hand and responded in a voice full of panic, "If you call the doctors to help disconnect it from me if I need life support, does that mean my glorious life could end in such an unceremonious way?" The sound of the phone kept ringing. Lin Key's gaze was constantly diverted from it. Meanwhile, after being pushed away, King Ren revealed an annoyed expression. She stepped away from him and called out, "Hey." As soon as she said that, she moved closer to the Wi-Fi router. At that moment, he noticed her. She unplugged a cable from the Wi-Fi router. Seeing that, his expression turned frantic and he shouted loudly, "Oh my God, please don't unplug the Wi-Fi router. I'm sorry, I know I was wrong." As he spoke, his panicked gaze didn't look at the phone. On King Ren's side, she continuously wore a look of disdain, refusing to look at him. At Liang Ruyu's house, she was standing, stretching, yawning widely, and spoke to the other person. "Coming so early, is there something going on?" Lin Key appeared, smiling, and immediately said, "I've come to give you some achievements. Do you need any? We are secretly researching and developing a new mobile system. It's still following the procedures of the supervisor, and your name will be included." Hearing this, Ruyu turned her head and replied, "The mobile phone system isn't something extraordinary. If you need my support, just say it directly. My daily life is about to be disturbed by you." Lin Key chuckled lightly and replied, "Ha ha ha, then I won't hide anything from you anymore. Can you arrange a little favor?" "What favor do you have?" "Just tell me." Ruyu said as she picked up a cup of water, took a sip, and leaned back on the sofa. He responded, "The exclusive naming rights for the ceremony. Money is not an issue. Whatever amount is mentioned by the upper management, I can cover it. But I don't want to do it the usual way. Can this be handled quickly? Upon hearing this, Ru Yu picked up a bun and took a bite. She spoke while eating. Based on last year's price, the naming rights for the grand ceremony are around $1 billion. What are you planning to advertise? A newly developed mobile phone? Lin Key immediately responded with a smug expression. It's not about mobile phones, it's about the system. Has anyone ever advertised a system? That's not very feasible. Hearing this, he replied, because the structure of the current mobile phone market has already been set. If traditional propaganda methods are used, the results will certainly not be ideal. Therefore, I plan to package the system as a product and sell it. Seeing this, Liang Ru Yu turned away and said, you sit in the living room and wait for me for a while. Lin Key pressed a button on the control panel. News reports began to appear on the television. He sat on the sofa, enjoying the relaxation. Ru Yu walked over, took a document from her hand, and said, my mother said she could help you contact some companies. When you find someone to connect with their supporting technology, it will assist in developing the corresponding software. Lin Key took the document, his expression turning alarmed as if he couldn't believe his eyes. Dan, is this for real? These are all industry giants. That's right, my mother also said that there is an intention to establish a high-paying incubator production center in Shanghai. Do you want to get involved in this project? Liang Ru Yu looked at Lin Key. Hearing this, he replied, give it to me. This project seems a bit too hot to handle, so I dare not take it on. This matter is not involved with the higher-ups. Let's consider the reward belongs to you. However, the usage period is 20 years. During these 20 years, all benefits must belong to you. After 20 years, you have to return it. This is an immortal card. Liang Ru Yu then rested his hand on the other person's shoulder, speaking in a somewhat gentle tone. Seeing this, he hesitated for a long time before agreeing. The scene shifts to the Long Asai Research Institute. Director Lin has arrived. A man's voice rang out cheerfully. Lin Key then sat on a chair and spoke. The source code of the system must not differ too much from the market source code. Technically, is there any difficulty? Hearing this, Sun Fu replied, Director Lin, please rest assured, I have been working on this from the beginning. In this era of booming apps, only similar systems can be compatible with all apps. Upon hearing this, Lin Key propped his chin up and responded, good. Then go find some semiconductor processing machines. We are preparing to venture into the mobile phone sector. The mobile phone costs around $1,000, but the camera and Pico screen cannot be done carelessly. As for the software, we will all use our new system, and the rest you can decide how to handle. Hearing this, Sun Fu replied, understood. Lin Key is intently looking at his kitchen. The glass cabinet contains many plates arranged neatly, and the cooking utensils are also hung in an orderly manner on hooks. Suddenly, Yun Yuan walks up from behind and asks, Boss, are you planning to close down the business? Lin Key calmly replies, yeah, I'm preparing to experience a different career. I won't transfer this shop. I'll leave it as it is so that friends can still come by for a meal I cook, and it can be a place to gather. Out of the blue, a group of people opens the door and loudly calls out, is the boss here? Lin Key turns around and responds, sorry, we are not in business. Suddenly, he is startled and very surprised to see the man in front of him. This man is Xiao Bin, a college classmate of Lin Key. Upon seeing him, Xiao Bin is also surprised and asks, Class monitor, what are you doing here? Their friend Song Kellen questions, are you working as a chef here? Weren't you working at a real estate company? Lin Key smiles slightly and replies, I haven't worked there for a long time. Hearing this, Xiao Bin takes the opportunity to mock. Then you should find a job that is a bit more respectable. Going out to be a chef, if this spreads, it would be quite embarrassing. Lin Key gently asks, is being a chef really embarrassing? Xiao Bin smirks with pride, starts to show an arrogant attitude, and asks the class monitor, now you realize the importance of education, right? Look at me, after passing the postgraduate entrance exam, I began to take risks, carrying out venture capital projects with my advisor. Now I'm living among those high-quality wines. Ju Hao stood behind in fear, quickly advising him. Xiao Bin stopped talking. Her friend Huang Lily, standing nearby, couldn't stop praising Lin Key. I think being a chef isn't that bad. Wait until you save enough money and then open your own restaurant. Xiao Bin raised his voice to advise, in Shanghai, the competition pressure is huge. If you're not careful, you could suffer losses. If you don't have business talent, it's best to find a stable job. He widened his eyes in panic when he saw Huang Lily go over to Lin Key and say, Class leader, when you open your own restaurant, be sure to let me know. I'll invest a bit in your place. Lin Key smiled and politely rejected her kindness. No need for investment. I'm quitting my job in 2 days. Xiao Bin wondered, quitting? He continued to lecture the class leader. You can't be vague about work. It won't work out like this. It's hard to achieve something big. Understanding his true nature, Lin Key slowly walked over and patted his shoulder, gently saying, "Brother, I understand how you feel, but don't pretend so awkwardly. After years in society, I can see through these faces." Struck by the truth, Xiaobin could only remain silent and didn't dare to say anything.